Hello guys, welcome back. Today again we'll be doing maths, grade 10. My name is Hector Nkosi. Today we'll be looking at equations. I just want to check some comments from you guys. I hope you are well. I hope everything is fine. I can see Arthur, welcome. I can see Miss P as usual. Tyrese, I can see Leonhard, hello. Dr. Carl, welcome. It's my first time seeing you. Tyler, hello. Okay, who else? Dilo, hello. Okay, Andrian, okay. Okay, cool. Okay, hi guys. Hello, Glenn Patience. Okay, Kalam. Okay, Kamogelo, Letabo, Sean, uh, Anke Diswat. Okay, Mahlatsi. Hello guys. Hello, hello, hello. Um, it's nice to meet you again today. Today, guys, we'll be looking at what you call your equations, right? So we'll be solving for the unknowns, we'll be solving for x, we'll be solving for a lot of things, right? You know, when they say solve for x, you need to be able how to find the unknown. So today we'll be looking at that, and feel free to ask any question that you might have. I'm here to help you guys. We'll be looking at the complex questions. Already you have covered solve for x, Yes, Sandy, we're doing revision, but we're looking at complex question. We're looking at difficult questions, questions that they may ask in an exam, question that most of you make mistakes actually in So we'll be looking at those. Okay. Okay, so guys, please don't forget to always, if you've got any query, to email me at nkosihector28@gmail.com. It's here on the screen, nkosihector28@gmail.com. We're still looking at the consolidated questions. I know you've dealt with lots and lots of these topics, but remember, guys, now we're looking it in a perspective of an exam. It's not like doing the sums from the textbook or doing the sums from the workbook. Now we look at those small things that the examiner can throw you with, things that you need to watch out for, things that you need to look at, the things that they like to ask the most. So we'll be looking at that, guys. So when we look at our learning outcome, we have covered majority of the things here, right? We are still looking at November 2018 paper 1 exam, the Department of Education paper, but today we are looking at question 2. We have dealt with factorization. We have dealt how to factorize a trinomial. We have looked at grouping in pairs. We did it several times yesterday. We saw the sum and the difference of two cubes. We have dealt with difference of two squares. We also looked at the algebraic expression, right? We did lots and lots of simplifying algebraic fractions, right? We go stick. Then we did the multiplication of a binomial by a trinomial. Guys, remember a binomial, it's when you've got two terms, you multiply them with three terms. It's the one that we did for the past 2 days. So majority of the stuff we've covered here, we have dealt with exponents also, guys. So everything that I've just ticked off are the things that I'm trying to explain to you guys, that you know what, these are the things that you have dealt with. These are the things that you should be comfortable with them now. I know I promised you guys to um, send you lots and lots of past papers. I'm still going to do that. Just give me some time. I'm still trying to create a hard drive so that I can have all the past papers in one Google Drive. As soon as I've got everything ready, I'll share it with you. It can be the link, it can be the code to join. So it's up to you. So now today I've highlighted with blue. We'll be looking at the equations, right? Remember, guys, when you look at the equations, there are so many ways that you can solve for the unknowns, right? And you have to understand your factorization first. You have to understand your simplification first. You have to understand your exponents first before you can solve for a certain unknown, So before we start with today's lesson, I would like to, sorry about that, I would like to read at the comments and see what is everyone saying. Let me see if everyone has a question. Okay, I can see. Yes, we're still under revision, guys. Remember, guys, we're still in term one. Schools, they haven't opened yet. We haven't started with term two. We're still under term one. As soon as we go back to school, that's your term two, guys, right? Um, yes, Miss P, I promise to do some more questions. Yes, yeah. Um, yes, okay. Sandy, the only can break up now and then. No, me too. It's all of us. Oh, okay. I'll try to fix my voice projection because it seems like I'm breaking up. Can you hear me now, guys? Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Uh-huh. I'm still reading at your comments. Uh-huh. Remember, guys, Poppy, trigonometry, it's part of term two. It's part of term two, right? Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect, Monica. That's correct. Yes. Can you hear me now, guys? Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, that's perfect. It seems like everyone is clear now. Everyone, they can hear me now. Okay, cool. Now, let's start with today's lesson. I just need to stop sharing so that I can reshare the document that I want to share. So I need to stop sharing and share the screen again. Um, this is what we'll be looking at today. Okay, guys. Now, today, guys, I'll be looking at these questions. So this is the DBE November 2018 question 2. I'll be looking at this question. I hope everything it will make sense after the lesson. You'll be able to understand how to solve for x. This is when you solve for x in different ways, via exponential form, via factorization, um, via trinomial, solving for x using an inequality, solving for x and y. That's your simultaneous equation. We'll be looking at this for today. And you need to be able to do this. You need to be comfortable to do this at the end of today. So everything is going to make sense, guys, right? These are complex questions. These are questions from past papers, guys. Because they are more difficult. I want to show you how the examiners ask questions. So now I want to share my workings with you now. Okay. So now I'll have to start with this one. Okay. Before that, it says here, 2.1, solve for x. So you must solve for x. 2.1.1, it says px plus qx is equals to a. Now, but the question says solve for x. So now px plus qx is equals to a. Aha, I can see that my two terms, they've got a common factor of which is x. Can you see now? This means now you have to factorize here, guys, because there's a common factor of which is x before you can solve for x. So you need to take your x out, factor it out, then you'll remain with p plus q, because when you say p times x, that's px. When you're saying x times q, that's qx. So you have to factor this out. So can you see, guys, the importance of factorization? Why I emphasized factorization for the past 2 days, because I knew that it was going to help you when you do your equations, when you do your number patterns, when you do um your analytical geometry, of which you're still gonna look at that. So factorization, guys, it falls under algebra. So it's algebra all the way. You need to understand your algebra. You need to be comfortable with your algebra, guys, right? So everything that you will be doing for this past 3 days, it's algebra. It's the basic foundation that you have to know. You have dealt with algebra at school level, I think, for like 3 to 4 weeks. Yes. So now, here, because the question said solve for x, now you have to divide by p plus q, p plus q both sides. So no wonder here I've divided by p plus q, p plus q. What you do on the left, you also do on the right hand side, boys and girls. Now this cancels that and this cancels that. So on your left hand side, you'll be left with x. On your right hand side, you'll be left with a over p plus q. Now this is your answer, guys. X is equals to a over p plus q. But you must tell the marker, that P, it cannot be equals to negative Q. So sorry, guys, this was supposed to be equals uh, with a dash, not a dash, but with a stroke, which means like P, it cannot be equals to negative Q, right? Because now, if you're saying P is not equals to negative Q, which means if you put your negative Q here and you put your plus Q here, which means your denominator will be 0. Therefore, A over 0, we know that's undefined, guys. Therefore, you cannot solve for X. So you must always show this restriction. I've just made a mistake here. I was supposed to say P it's not equals to. So I was supposed to say equals to with a stroke in the middle of equals to. I hope I make sense. Then I've tried to tweak this question, guys. I've tried to play around with this question. This was not required, but I mean, sometimes substitution understanding. That's why I said to you, let's assume that A is equals to 12, P is equals to 6, and Q is equals to negative 3. Meaning now we know that A is equals to 12, you must substitute by 12. P is equals to 6, you must substitute 6 where there is P. Q, negative 3, you must substitute with negative 3. Then 12 over 3 is 4. Therefore, x can be equals to 4. Remember this, guys, it was not part of the question. I've just tried to play around to show you that they can ask you anything and you just need to be versatile in a question. The examiner can ask or the assessor can ask anything that you might be interested in. Perfect. Now let me look at the comments before I can go to the next sum. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, I just want to check the comments. I just want to check the comments, whether you guys were comfortable with that. I was explaining. Okay. Okay, cool. Seems like everyone is understanding. Okay. Okay. Yes, that's perfect. Yes, Miss P, you must factorize also in an equation. Yes. So we have to factorize, but it's an yes. So factorization, it applies everywhere, guys. Everywhere. Everywhere. Whether equations, whether when you simplify or whatever. Yes. Seems like everyone um, is on the same page. Okay, cool. Okay. Nelza, why I did the substitution, I was just trying to show you guys how they can ask things again, you know, how they can ask things in a different way. It was not part of the question, but I tried to tweak the question, you know. Yes, Nelza. Yes, yes, Leonhard. Um, yes. Are we also supposed to assume values? No, 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 no. You're not allowed to assume values in an exam unless you are told, guys. Unless you are told, it will be given to us. If it's not given to you, guys, you just leave your answer as it is with the letters. Right. Okay. Yes. Okay, cool. Perfect. Now, let's look at the second one. Now, this one, it says 2.1.2, 2x squared minus 5x plus 2. Now, guys, this one, it's when you factorize. Remember, you did the factorization of a trinomial. So you have to factorize this first, then solve for x. So guys, can you see how important your factorization is? It comes again in your solve for x. No wonder you're supposed to understand your factorization from A up to Z. Does it make sense? Okay, cool. Let me go back to my workings. All right. Now, I've showed you this method sometime day before yesterday. So you are given 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 is equals to 0. So you must have the multiples of 2, of which is the factors of 2. Basically, in this case, it was easy. Factors of 2 is just 2 times 1, it's 2. There's no other way we can get we can get multiples of 2. These are the only multiples of 2 that we have. Also, you must look at your middle term. Your middle term, it's negative 5x, boys and girls. Are you with me? Now, since your middle term, it's a negative 5x, which means now in these two terms, 2 and 1, right? Most definitely, the bigger number must take the sign of the middle term. That's your step one. Does it make sense? So what I did here, you must write your 2x and x there, right? Remember, I love this method, guys. I showed you day before yesterday. We call this a try and error method, right? But you can use anything, guys. You can use anything, whichever method that you are comfortable with. You don't have to follow what I'm doing, but this is the most method I found it easier because you can, number one, visualize it. Number two, it's just easy to use it. You know, I'm one person who prefer to visualize something, to sort of like draw something, you know. So what we need to do here, we said 2x multiplied. So we go down and up. I'll say 2x multiplied by negative 2. That's what? Negative 4. Then you need to ask yourself, must I plus or minus with the 1? you have to minus the 1, because now, why do you minus with the 1? You're looking for negative 5. So 2x times, when you go down, you are multiplying. When you go up, you are adding or subtracting, depending on the question, right? So 2x multiplied by 2, that's negative 4x, minus 1x, basically, because this x goes like this, right? So it will be negative 5x, right? Therefore, this is working for us. And yes, because now you've got negative 1 and negative 2. And we know when you're multiplying a negative and a negative, you've got a plus 2. Therefore, this is correct. You can always prove this, guys, in an exam or test. Does it make sense? Then you must take these as it is. You must put your bracket, even the one that is at the bottom. You must put your bracket there. Then this will be equals to 0. Remember, this was not a simplification question. It was the solve for x question, right? Therefore, 2x, it will be equals to 1. You must transpose 1 to the other side of 0. Or x will be equals to 2. When you transpose negative 2 to the other side, the sign will change. Therefore, it will be positive 2. Here, we transposed 1 to the other side. The sign changed to a positive 1. Therefore, remember now you've got 2x is equals to 1. The question asked for solving for x, not solving for 2x. Therefore, you have to divide by 2. What you do on the left-hand side, you must do on the right-hand side. Therefore, x will be equals to half, because 1 over 2 will be half. Then this one will stay as it is. I hope it makes sense. Let me read at the comments so that I can see how's everyone coping. Okay, cool. Okay, let me see. Perfect. Perfect. Wow, you guys are so amazing. We are so amazing, guys. I love this. I love this so much, you know. Wow, you guys are so amazing. Okay. I hope you can hear me now, guys. Okay. Okay, Leonhard says the sound is good. Okay, thank you. Perfect, guys. Perfect. This is awesome. Wow. You guys are so amazing, guys. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, cool. Let's look at the third one now. So when we look, we need to go back to 2.1.3. So 2.1.3, guys, it says 1 over 2 to the power of 3x plus 1 is equals to 32. Now, these are your exponents, guys. These are your exponents. You must solve for x also. Let's look at this one, and this is for 3 marks. Let's look at this one so that we can see how we can simplify this one. Now, this one, guys, it's your half to the power of 3x plus 1 is equals to 32. Remember, guys, 1 over 2 can be written as 2 to the power negative 1. We know that law for exponents. This is the same as 1 over x. 1 over x can be written as x to the power of negative 1. Same applies if you are given 1 over 100. It can be written as 100 to the power of negative 1. Does it make sense, guys? So now we have killed this fraction and tried to make it to look like a number, then we know that 32, we can change 32 because we've seen that here we've got powers. On the left-hand side, we've got powers. Therefore, you can also change 32. 32 can be written as 2 to the power of 5, because now these, you can tell by inspection that this is your exponent. equation. Does it make sense? And guys, this is going to help you. This solve for x is going to help you even when we do graphs. You know, you'll see when we do graphs, functions and stuff, this is going to be much more easier if you understand this. So now we have dealt with this and we have dealt with that. Okay, remember you need to remove the brackets. That's your step number 2. So these brackets, you must remove them, which means this power -1, you must multiply it throughout with 3x and 1. No wonder you'll get 2 to the power -3x -1, because -1 times 3x, it's -3x, -1 times +1, it's -1. And 2 to the power 5, it will stay as it is. Then your step number 3, you must drop your bases. You must drop your bases. If the bases are the same in an equation, you must drop the bases only if they are the same. If they are not the same, you are not allowed to drop the bases. So on your left-hand side, you've got 2 base. On your right-hand side, you also have 2 base. So you can drop the bases. Do you get my point? Therefore, you'll be left with -3x -1 is equals to 5. Does it make sense? Because you have dropped your bases now. Now, remember the question said to you solve for x. Now you can transpose -1 to the right-hand side, and when you transpose it, by default or automatically, it will be +5. So on your left-hand side, you'll be left with -3x is equals to 5 plus 1. Therefore, you'll have -3x is equals to 6. 5 plus 1 is equals to 6. Therefore, what the question said, you must solve for x, meaning now you must divide by -3 both sides. Guys, what you do on your left-hand side, you must do it on your right-hand side. Therefore, x is equals to -2, because -3 into 6, it's -2. I hope it makes sense. Just want to check at the comments and see whether you guys are following. Right. Okay, cool. Oh, you guys are so awesome. Wow, wow, guys. You know what? I'm so happy to see this, guys. I'm very happy. Everyone is following, everyone is understanding. Yes, Ada, I can see you. Yes, Poppy, Miss P, yes. Okay, all right, that's perfect. Okay, cool. Yes, yes, Kamugelo, yes. Perfect. Okay. Okay, cool. That's perfect. Yes. Yes. Okay. That's perfect. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, cool. So Angel is asking that, say, what happens when the bases are not the same? So if the bases are not the same, you need to find a way in order to make them the same. So it's always going to be, you need to find a way. Remember, we were given 32. You have to change that 32 to 2 to the power 5 in order to make your bases to be the same. There's always going to be the way to get your bases to be the same. You need to find the way. Yeah, I hope I've answered your question, Angel. And that's a good question, actually. Yes, Litabo. Okay. Nelza, Litabo. That was because we needed to make the base to look the same. Yes, that's perfect, Nelza. Uh, Oh, thank you so much, Nelly. Thanks for the generous comment. It says, bless you for making us understanding, sir. Ah, guys, it's my pleasure. I'm here to help you. Okay, that's perfect, guys. Wow, you guys are so, so amazing. Right, perfect. Let's look at the next one. Okay, cool. So now when we look at the next one, just hang on. Okay, I just want to move to 2.2. Now, this is an interesting question now, guys. This is an interesting question. It says to you now, given that negative 11, it's less than or equals to 3m minus 8 less than 4. Then this is just a statement, right? Then the question says to you 2.2.1, solve for m. Now we are solving for m here. Then 2.2, it says hence. Remember, guys, hence, what does it mean? Whatever you got previously, you must assume or use it in your next answer. That's what hence means, right? Write down the number of integers that satisfy the inequality. We're still gonna look at that. I love this question. It's very perfect, you know? Okay, cool. Let's look at this. Let's solve for m first. Now, when we solve for m, boys and girls, you were given negative 11. It's less than or greater than 3m minus 8 less than 4. Then now, guys, remember the question said solve for m. Now, you're supposed to transpose 8 on your left side and on your right hand side, right? What you do on your left, you must also do on your right hand side, because this is an interval, guys. When we talk about an interval, we talk about something that is in between. So what goes to east must also goes to west. Does it make sense? Also, what goes to south must also goes to north. Does it make sense, guys? So now, when you transpose your negative 8 to your left-hand side, it will be a plus 8. So it's going to be negative 11 plus 8 less than or equals to 3m. Now it's 3m only because we have taken 8 away. We have transposed 8 away, you know. Then what you do on your left-hand side, you must also do on your right-hand side. Therefore, less than 4 plus 8. So it's plus 8 plus 8. Does it make sense? But remember, guys, the question said to you, solve for m. Then you have to divide, okay, 11 plus 8, that's 3. Because 11 plus 8, you must always take the sign of the bigger number, then subtract. So the sign of the bigger number is 11. It's 11 and it's a minus. Then you minus 8 from 11, you got 3. Then you've got 3m. Then 4 plus 8, we know that it is 12. Then the question said solve for m, not solve for 3m. Therefore, you have to divide by 3 both sides. What you do on your left-hand side, you must also do on your right-hand side. Therefore, you'll be left with negative 1. It's less than or equals to m less than 4. Now, here, guys, you can write this like that. You can write it as an interval, or you can write it like this. This can also be presented by saying m less than 4 and m is greater than or equals to negative 1. I hope it makes sense. Let's look at 2.22. There 2.22 is asking how many integers. It says hence, meaning the answer that you got from 2.2.1, use it in 2.222. It says hence, write down the number of integers that satisfy the inequality, which means how many integers are in the interval of this inequality, basically. That's what they are meaning, basically. That's why I've drawn the timeline for you guys. Remember in grade 6, in grade 7, grade 8, you have dealt with integers where you've drawn your number line and stuff like that, right? So remember now, what is the restriction telling you? The restriction says your m, it's less than 4, which means it's not equals to 4, but it's less than 4, which means it starts from 3 going downwards. But your m, it's greater than or equals to negative 1, which means your start, it's negative 1 going to 3. So you need to count how many integers are within in the interval. No wonder I said negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. You do not put 4, guys, because m it's less than 4. But if it was m less than or equals to 4. If there was a dash underneath this less than, therefore you were going to put 4 here. But here you're just going to end at 3. Does it make sense? Therefore, you count your integers. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your answer is 5 integers. And that was 1 mark, guys. Let me read at the comments and see whether everyone is following. I can see 34 comments already. I just want to see whether everyone is following. Okay, cool. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. That's perfect. D-Low is understanding. Okay. Okay, Miss P, I can see you. You've raised your hand. Okay, I'll be with you now. Okay. Though given a number we can't work with, base left will always look like one on the right. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, Poppy, that's correct. Yes, yes. Perfect. That's perfect. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay, sir, is that sign in the same as equals to? Okay, I don't get your question. Miss P, what are you trying to say? Please try to phrase your question again. Okay, Sandy, thanks for understanding. Kamogelo, thanks for following. Miss P, please try to phrase your question as I'm trying to understand it. Yeah, okay, cool. That's perfect. Okay, let's look at the last one. Simultaneously. So solve simultaneously for X and Y. What does it mean, guys? Simultaneously means now, how can I put it when we say simultaneously? In two ways, basically. When we say solve simultaneously for X and Y, which means as much as you're solving for X, you must also solve for Y. It's like killing two birds with one stone. If I can put it in a simple English, not in a maths language. So you are given 5X plus 4Y is equals to 21, and 2X is equals to 3 minus Y. Perfect. Then now let's look how I've dealt with this one. Now, with this one, there are so many ways to label equations that are given, guys. So I was given 5x. I love the substitution method. There are so many methods. There's an elimination method. It's up to you which one you want to use. I know at other schools, they're using the elimination one. Other schools, they're using the substitution one. It's up to you guys which one. I mean, it's up to you which one you want to use, as long as you're going to arrive at the same answer at the end of the day. But I try by all means, as I said earlier on, to show you easier methods, because guys, you can do anything in maths. Like there's so many ways, and that comes with practice. The more you practice your maths, guys, is the more you're going to realize a lot of things, So I've labeled my two equations that were given, right? So 5x plus 4y is equals to 21. That's my equation 1. 2x is equals to 3 minus y. That's my equation 2. Now, I can sort of do my equation 3 now from equation 2 by making y an unknown, by making y the subject of the formula, basically. So I've transposed y to this side and it will become positive y, because here it was negative. equals to 3. When you take 2 to the other side, it will be -2. Then I've made y the subject of the formula because I want to substitute it somewhere in the equation. Therefore, now I've developed equation number 3 for myself, so that I can make things easier. So now, no wonder I wrote here, sub equation 3 into equation 1. So I'm substituting my equation 3 into equation 1. What does it mean? Where there is y, I must put 3 minus 2x in y. Where there is y, I must substitute with that. So this is what I did. Therefore, my equation 3, it's given as 5x plus 4y. But remember, y is represented by what? Y is represented by 3 minus 2x. So I must substitute with that is equals to 21. Therefore, you're going to have 5x. 4 times 3, you're going to get 12. 4 times -2x, that's -8x is equals to 21. Then you group everything, your x's on your left-hand side, your numbers on your right-hand side. Therefore, 5 minus 8, we know that's -3x. When you take 12 to the other side, it will change the sign. It will be -12. And we know that 21 minus 12, it's 9. Therefore, you're solving for x and y. But for now, we must solve for x. You must divide by -3 both sides, -3 both sides. Your x is equals to -3 because -3 into 9, that's 3, 6, 9. So it's 3 times, so -3. So your x is equals to -3. So you got one component of your simultaneous equation, guys. Then now, the question, remember, said solve for x and y. We do have x. Now let's try to solve for y. It's going to be easy. We must sub x is equals to -3 into equation 3, the one that said y is equals to 3 minus 2x, basically. So where there is x, you must put -3 because you have got your working as -3. And guys, I want to highlight this. In an exam, let's say you make a mistake in a simultaneous equation. You make a mistake. Let's say you got your x as negative 8. But for the fact that you took that x and you substituted in your other equation to get y, you're always gonna get that one free mark because you are telling the marker that you understand what you are doing, even though your x is incorrect. For the fact that you took it and substituted in the next equation in order for you to get y, you're always gonna get a method mark, guys. Bear in mind your exam techniques, Um, then now you've got y is equals to 3 minus 2 times -3. So we know that this is 3. 2 times negative 2 times -3, we know a negative times a negative, it's a positive 6, right? Therefore, 3 plus 6, y is equals to 9. Now you have solved for your x and your y. That's perfect. Let me see the comments. Aha, that's perfect, guys. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. Seems like everyone is understanding. Wow, you guys are so amazing. You are so amazing. I like that. I like that. Right? You are so amazing. I just want to check some other things here. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, Miss P, I'm about to answer your question. I'm about to unmute you. Please talk to me, Miss P.
Hello?
Hi, Miss P.
Sir, do you want me to repeat the question that I already asked?
Yes, or did you manage to get the
Yes,
what
sir,
up?
I managed to get my answer. It's
Oh, that's
fine.
perfect, my girl. Did you get everything correct though?
So I'm working on it.
Okay, okay, okay. That's perfect. Okay. Keep well,
Yes, sir.
hey? Okay,
Thank you,
cool.
sir.
Okay, my pleasure. Okay. Then now, guys, I want to look at yesterday's ones. Uh, Remember yesterday, before we finished our lesson, majority of you were confused with this thing, guys. So I tried to bring it back, to your attention, because majority of you, they were like, what's happening? Um, what is LCD? What is lowest common denominator and stuff like that? Now, guys, um, remember here it's totally different from what we were doing today. Today basically we were just solving for x. We were doing this question. Does it make sense? But I want to go back uh from yesterday's work, of which it was this one, because of time I couldn't finish to explain everything thoroughly, and I can see now I have like 5 minutes more, so I want to explain this to you guys. Remember, guys, here it was a simplification question. You had to simplify. You were given 3 over x squared minus 9 plus 2 over x minus 3 all squared. Now your x squared minus 9, this is the difference of two squares, and it can be written as x plus 3, x minus 3. Are we okay with that? Excuse me. Then this one, you can expand it, guys. You can have x minus 3, x minus 3, because all squared means this can be repeated twice, basically. Does it make sense, guys? So you can expand this also, right? But if you've got 2 there, it means that, there are 2x minus 3, basically, right? But this one means difference of two squares. You must have plus and minus. This one is going to be x minus 3, x minus 3, whereas the difference of two squares will be x plus 3x minus 3. I hope it makes sense so far. Now, you have to identify your lowest common denominator, your LCD. Now, your LCD basically, guys, do you understand with me that it's going to be your x minus 3, right? Your lowest common denominator, right? Because now you find it there. Does it make sense? You also have x plus 3, but because you've got x minus 3 there, no wonder here your LCD will be x plus 3. So the most common thing here was to find your LCD. Then after, you must multiply your LCD with your terms. So you've got 1, 2, you've got 2 terms, right? So you must multiply this term with the LCD and also multiply this term with the LCD. So this is your LCD multiplying by your first term. It will cancel that. It will cancel that one. And x plus 3, it will also cancel with that one. But remember here, you had x minus 3 all squared, whereas here it's x minus 3 only. So 1 will be remaining, x minus 3. One of it will be remaining. No wonder I've inserted 1 with a red pen. Going to the other term, you also must multiply your LCD. So you must multiply it. This will cancel that. And what's remaining will be x plus 3, right? Therefore, you must say, okay, you are left with x minus 3 times 3 plus your second term, your 2, of which is that one, your x plus 3. Then you just remove your brackets. You say x multiplied by 3, you're going to get your 3x. Negative 3 times 3, you're going to get your negative 9. 2 times x, you're going to get 2x. 2 times 3, you're going to get 6, right? Then you must put your LCD, because you have denoted there that this is your denominator, so you must keep on putting it, right? Therefore, you must group all your x's and all your numbers together. 3x plus 2x, we know that is 5x, and negative 9 and 6, it's negative 3. This is how we got the answer. I hope it makes sense again, guys. I hope it makes sense again. Let me just read comments for one last time. Okay. Wow, you guys are so amazing. Okay, 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 cool. Okay, noted, guys. Okay. You just need to practice, guys. You just need to do lots and lots of practice, guys. It's going to make sense, right? Okay, that's perfect. Okay, cool. That's perfect, guys. Um, remember, guys, I just want to stop sharing so that you can see my email. Then you can always email me. Um, need to share the screen again. Okay, guys. Um, you can always email me at nkosihector28@gmail.com. If you've got any questions, guys, you are more than welcome to email. This video will be posted on YouTube, so you can always what you call try to play it, pause, play it again until you understand. If there are things that you don't understand still, please try to email me. From my side, guys, I'm saying to you, happy long weekend. I'm not seeing you tomorrow because it's a long weekend. It's a workers' day, 1st of May. I'm hoping to see you again next week, guys. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Thanks for making my work so easy. You guys are so awesome, and I have no doubt that you'll do well in your assessments at school. You guys are so brilliant. You guys are stunning. You guys are so amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Up until we see each other again, goodbye.